Okay, so the only reason why I'm making this video is because I'm currently having withdrawals from Seroquel, and I've been taking Seroquel since I was 13. I'm currently 19, and I had a good relationship with Seroquel. It's done me wonders. I had hallucinations, like, just because I was kind of on substances, and this event kind of triggered it. And after finding out that it was like, I guess in a way genetics, because I asked my sister about it and she told me the same thing, and currently now I'm finding a pattern of having hallucinations before I go to sleep. And I've also dealt with visual hallucinations, but they're mainly auditory, so that's why I take Seroquel. Now I'm having withdrawals, and this isn't the first withdrawal, is because I'm currently having some insurance issues that I know I should have done, like, like check up like every year and make sure things are covered and so, which I forgot to do. But I also had a lot of help from my sister because I'm 19. I'm trying to learn all these things and try to be independent with myself doing that. But otherwise, I'm not gonna get Seroquel within like 5 to 6 weeks, and so that's like really shitty. And I mean, who really wants to deal with withdrawals, especially on prescription medication? But honestly, the only reason why I'm laying down is because I'm feeling very sick, and I recorded it while I was like sitting, but when I was like looking over the video, I was kind of just ranting, and I was just saying a lot that didn't make a lot of sense. And I'm also out of breath just because I've been really tired, and it's kind of hard for me to go to sleep by myself because Seroquel is meant for you to go to sleep. It's supposed to help you sleep, and if you stop taking it, or if you're on a very high dosage and you stop taking it, insomnia is going to be some sort of side effect after, like some sort of withdrawal symptom, and that's the worst part of having withdrawals from Seroquel or any sleeping medication that is a very high dosage. And as much as I love Seroquel and has done me wonders to reduce or decrease some part of hallucinations that I can't do by myself, that's definitely the benefit, and that's the only reason I take it. Some people don't like it because there's okay, my bad, I just can't breathe, but it's because they're either gaining a lot of weight, and that's a huge problem too with Seroquel. It does make you gain weight, and I've also gained weight, just a little by little while I was in high school, but not so much. It's done a lot out of high school, like after I graduated high school, and it hasn't been a problem with me because I always like to exercise. I'm always about eating the right things, and sometimes people do that. They do exercise, they do eat the right amount of nutrients, and they ended up gaining a huge amount of weight because they're on Seroquel. And generally, sometimes it's not meant for people because a lot of medications that I even take for hallucinations, like Risperdal, I think that's what it's called, Risperdal, I ended up having hives on my forehead, and I was in high school, and people teased me, and they were saying like, oh wow, you have some sort of STD, and I'm like, no, it's not even an STD because it's on my forehead. And I even had acne, and people were like, wow, you're breaking out a lot, and I'm like, no, they're just hives from Risperdal. And it was one's for hallucinations too, to help me, and I think it was supposed to help me go to sleep, but I just knew it was like for the hallucinations. And so that didn't work out well, but when I tried Seroquel, that worked wonders. So I kept on with Seroquel, and there's also medications like antidepressants that gave me the worst side effects of my life. And they weren't just physical. Obviously the physical part yeah, it bothered me because I had a huge bunch of bruises all over my body because I was taking antidepressants. And then I remember I was taking Prozac, and I ended up being like more or like increasingly homicidal. Like I was having like so many aggressive thoughts. I was just very like not me. But I also might have been acting out that way too because I mean at that age, you know, in high school you get hormones and you're just very like irritated at everybody. But I felt like Prozac was just doing over the top about it. I don't know. I just didn't fit well after taking Prozac. But after I got off it, I felt a lot better. And I didn't have one of those thoughts at all. And I don't really think about doing that at all anymore. I feel like people with medication or that are taking medication, I feel like you have to take the whole responsibility of knowing that you have to make sure, you know, your insurance is covered for every year, if it's, you know, good for so-and-so, whatever. But you have to make sure everything's 100%, like, you know, covered. And the reason why I can't get Seroquel is because I would buy it, but the fact that I'm on 300 milligrams, it costs like around $500 to get a month's supply. I know for the rest of my medications, they're affordable. Like, I can, you know, like, they're not extremely bad. But having a high dosage on Seroquel and me having to pay more than the textbooks that I buy for college, I don't think it's worth it. And I'd rather just stick through it and, you know, find alternatives. And it's really complicated because as much as I'm trying to take over-the-counter sleeping pills, they're not going to work at all. I need a lot of harder drugs, and I don't want to say harder drugs either, but that's what Seroquel is. It's a very intense drug. It's not very hard, but it does help me with anxiety. And I know if I take a little too much, it'll make me go to sleep. And so I just take 2 tablets, or like, they're half pills of Klonopin, so it's just 1 milligram. And I take it, and I go to sleep, and that's fine. And I'm lucky to have even Klonopin, because that's the only thing that's helping me go to sleep. But I know people that don't take Klonopin and are just taking Seroquel or just some other medication that's not meant to sleep or calm them down. And they run out of Seroquel and they're just staying up for days. And I remember staying up for days. And if you stay up for days, then that means you're going to hallucinate a lot more, or you're going to get it back. And just other horrible symptoms again. Very nauseous, very weak, fatigue, vomiting. You're just going to be all over the place. Like, it's the worst. And I hate the fact that it has to cost more, the more milligrams that you have to take it. But I feel like if it really genuinely works for you, you should take it. But that's something that you should, or anybody that is taking medication that you 100% rely and depend on it, that maybe one day you won't have it. And you have to face the fact that if you don't have it for one day, for a week, or for a few weeks, maybe even months, but you have to realize that if you don't have it, then there's really nothing you can do until you wait for the refill, insurance fixed, or you just want to get off it. Withdrawals, they're, depending on the dosage, they're gonna really vary, and they're gonna not be your best friend, because as much as you don't want to get out of bed, or you just want to stay in the bathroom and feel like you just want to puke all the time, seek help. I feel like if it's over the top, I know there's like detox centers or hospitals that you can go to, but please do your research when it comes to taking medication, whether if it's for you or your child and your parent that, you know, is very concerned when it comes to prescription medication, do a lot of research. Make sure your kid or you don't miss a day, that you're 100% religious about it, because it's going to affect you physically and mentally. Because looking at the side effects, I've also realized if I stop taking it, I could have suicidal thoughts again. And although I'm taking antidepressants, I don't know how strong me without Seroquel can affect my suicidal thoughts to come again. But I hope not. I'm doing well with depression, and I'm doing well to be with people that support me and are helping me as much as they can, because I just don't want to have those thoughts again. But I have to understand that these are repercussions and these are consequences that, you know, people will one day have to go through if you are religiously and relying on prescriptions. So just make sure when you're taking prescriptions that you are ready for the responsibilities that it comes with it. Even if you like it, even if you don't, but you really need it, I feel like you should go for it, because Seroquel has definitely worked for me. And I mean, there are times where people really don't need it, and that's just a whole process in recovery, whether it's, you know, taking therapy or just generally with medications. You can definitely recover from both, and that's something that you should probably look forward to. And I mean, just don't give up about it. And I hope people end up, you know, realizing that as much as it comes with a responsibility, just be happy that you have something to take. And I don't know, just I'm just really happy that I have Seroquel, and it's definitely has changed my life in a good way. But just make sure when you're taking your pills that you're happy, and if there's something wrong, and even if it's not physical and it's affecting you mentally, definitely tell your psychiatrist, therapist, or whoever it is that you're feeling some type of way about it, to address it, because it's not going to help any better if you're not enjoying it or if it's making you not feel you. I feel like you have to say something in order to improve your mental state, and that's what everybody deserves, to be at that level. So if it helps, and maybe you have any other questions with Seroquel or just taking any other mental related, I guess, I mean I can't even speak, but like medications that are like within mental disorders, I can definitely try to like comment or like say something about it, because I am taking a few, and I understand that people that are starting or just very curious about it definitely have a lot of questions. But I'm sure anybody should be very open with their psychiatrist, their therapist, parents, anybody that you're super close with, to let them know that you're dealing with withdrawals or that you have so many questions, and people can definitely help you figure out what you need. And especially that you're the only person that you know yourself, you have to find out that if you purely need it. So that's my video, and I just wanted to share just because I'm dealing with withdrawals right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks.